Greetings, dear viewer. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another episode on Women Engage. My name is Efi Joanna Atieno, and today we are going into the world of food. Tell me you don't love food. Tell me and I'll tell you that you're lying. So we are going to talk about food and the art of making food, because for me it's an art. And we have two amazing ladies who are in the food business, who are in catering, be it for institutions, for private events and all that. And we just want to get some wisdom about what they do, how they use that for ministry, whether it's a passion or it's something they studied in school, and how they found themselves there, and how you too can find yourself there and maybe use your passion to make some money on the side outside of your career. So thank you so much for joining us. For our recurring viewers, welcome back to the show. Those joining us for the first time, welcome to Women Engage. Now, over to my guests. I would just like to give you a chance to introduce yourselves. Then we can start the conversation. I'll start with you, Vel, and then we can go to you, Mom.
Hi, everyone. Vel Bridget Mandera Nyaboke is my name. I have a business, Brima's Kitchen, and I'm also an accounting student. Yes.
Thank you so much, Vel. Yes, Anne.
Hi, viewers. My name is Anna Ongao. I have so many hats. If he was asking me which one I wear, but I wear so many. I cook. I am a child expert. I do child and youth development stuff. And I'm a fashion designer by profession.
Wow. Yes.
Yes.
So I was like, in what capacity are you here now? Okay, which one? But that's a good thing. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll just go straight into the conversation. Number one, this one, you've heard, she told us she's an accountant. How did you find yourself in this space?
Wow.
Because one thing I know, that's not what you studied. So you can tell us what you studied versus what you do.
Yes. So never did I ever think that I will be a caterer. Never. So in my university, I did Bachelor of Science, Economics and Statistics. And also currently, I am studying accounting. And how did I get here? Well, I love cooking. I love hosting people. So while I was in campus, I remember I used to have my friends come over. I study new recipes and then I cook for them. Then once I was out of campus, then joined to study ACCA. Corona happened, and we were all in our houses. So what was I doing? I was just going through YouTube, finding recipes, and I was like, well, I love cooking. How about making money from what I love doing? Yeah, so for me, it happened that, Corona came with some blessings. I decided, let me spend time, learn more about cooking, learn more about baking, and then make money from it. Yes.
Wow, nice. Some of us, I think it was around that period that we actually met.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's amazing. While some of us were seated at home, people were learning how to bake and cook and start businesses, and now they cook in weddings. We thank God.
We thank God.
Yes, and how did you find yourself in that space, and how long have you been in that space?
I've been in this space from 2009. Then in 2013, I quit. I was tired of cooking. Then I came back in 2020. How I found myself in this space. Potluck, carrying food to church. I would carry food to church, and I would carry enough food to church. And that is how the church just decided, like, next time we're having a potluck, why don't you cook for us? A little more. And I would do it a little more. Then the next time we're having guests, why don't you do it for us? And I was doing it. Then it became a habit. Then I started liking cooking. Then I found myself then that's how I found myself in catering. Then it went on. In 2013, I found it too hard. I was tired. This thing it takes time, it takes your energy and everything. And so I said, no, I think I need to do what I know best. And that is fashion and design. I did fashion and design. And still, my friend, you're not satisfied. Even with that fashion and design, you're not satisfied. You find there's still some gap left. Even as you shona, there's still some gap left. And in 2020, I found myself back without even knowing I was sleeping back. Actually, when I was leaving, I carried all the equipments home, to my rural home, and locked them in the house so that I would not be tempted.
You went back for them.
As we are talking today, I didn't go back for them. I've done a new set.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're welcome back to the profession. Lol,
Yeah.
I'm just realizing right now, food makes everything better for both the eater and the cook. And we thank God for that. Thank you so much for sharing your stories and how you found yourselves in this space, essentially, because I also, she knows the story. I started something similar, but then law school, my career took a toll, and I was like, you know what? I think I love the career more. I enjoy cooking, but not for commercial purposes. So then it strikes the question of, there's someone out there who's watching and they're passionate about something, be it cooking, be it fashion and design, either interior designing and stuff like that. It's not what they've studied for. And maybe they need just that nudge, that push. How do they make a living out of their passion? Because I think a lot of people have underlying skills and they don't know how to use it. How would you advise them to, bring that out and make money from it? I'll start with you.
You know, like when it comes to passion, it will push you. Let me tell you the first course I did. The first course I did was secretarial. That was then when secretaries were the people in the offices.
I remember.
That's when I did secretarial. I was not satisfied and I didn't work as a secretary. Then I was thinking, now what? Then I think development studies, yes. I think I like the NGO world. I did it. I was not satisfied. Then I'm still looking at it like, now, what do I do in form of business? Then I went to the fashion design. I did 2-year course. I still was not satisfied. Then this cooking. I tell you, when the passion is there, you are pushed beyond just what you are seeing. You will try each and everything so that you feel the satisfaction. But it only comes when you do that which you have passion on. Cooking makes me complete. Yeah.
Look at how you're
Just
smiling.
makes me complete. So, if you have passion on something, you will try several others, but they will not work for you. And you will not feel satisfied until you do that which you are passionate about and that which you feel so good about, then you are at it.
Wow, your passion gives you the fulfillment that you desire. Yes.
Just the same as passion. And, when you love doing something, that love is the fuel to whatever that you're going to do. Because you'll have hard days. You'll have tough days. There's somewhere I saw that if business doesn't kill you, there are times that business is hard. It is difficult. Or you'll meet difficult customers, So it is the love of what you're doing that will drive you. And then for someone who is thinking of starting, start with what you have at that moment. I will say this for sure, as much as they say it's not, the people who are your customers are strangers, but God has blessed me in a way that most of my clients have been my friends. Okay, not family per se, but my friends. To be very honest, Effie was the first person who gave me the opportunity to do my first catering gig. So what you have around you, use the, if you have a skill, you can just introduce it to your friends and just ask them, like, how do you think about this? When I started Brima's Kitchen, I remember I had friends over,
Yeah.
and I cooked for them. Okay, of course I charged them a fair amount, a fair amount, because bills have to be paid.
True.
When I am not, I have to pay to buy that kg of rice, you see. So as much as I am calling you for a businesswoman, I will charge you to cater for the cost that I used, right? And from that small gathering, it encouraged me to do more. You don't have to start big. I started from going from office to office, those movie shops.
Yes.
And I think I was having an order of 6 people. And let me tell you, God has been so graceful that even though I started from there, right now I am able to cook for over 700 people. You see, you just have to start from somewhere and let God be the control. You know, God will guide you. He's the one who has put that desire in you. It just doesn't come from anywhere. If he has told you to go. He will provide the means.
Yeah,
yes.
Wow, I actually love that.
Yeah.
Dear friends, I also know how to do hair. We've said we tell your friends your side hustles. Dear friends, I'm a lawyer. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing your journey. And I remember actually when you were starting, I was among those people you charged for the food. No, it was a fair amount.
Yes.
And it's amazing to see the growth when people go for their passions and you see how far they've come. Like, who knew that small space that you were in, one day you'd be catering for weddings. In fact, one of our friends' weddings, you know, and it's really fascinating. And there is something about using the gifts that God has given you and being faithful in that. Now I want us to talk a little bit about that, and that's stewardship. We had an episode and you appeared in one of those episodes when we talked about stewardship, being faithful to the little that God has given you. God has given you the gift of, you know how to tailor clothes. I mean, my youth uniform came from her, by the way. You know how to tailor uniforms. You know how to, you can design an entire outfit from scratch. You know how to cook. You cook for organizations, you cook for events. How do you ensure that you use your skills, all your skills, for God's service? Because, you know, sometimes you tend to spread yourself too thin. You do so much and everyone will tell you, hey, you're overdoing it. You know, you're overdoing it. But I just have so many skills, and to whom much is given, much is expected. How do you ensure that you serve God through your skills? And it's, because for me, even food is a way of ministry. Someone will just eat your food and they'll be like, wow, this is amazing. And it is a conversation starter. And from there, you can go into the word. You can go into whatever it is. So how do you use your business and all these other things that you do? Because for you now, we are looking at it all rounded. How do you use that as a form of ministry?
I have, like I said, I have several courts. For child and youth development, I do something called Girls Round Table in the rural. This is where girls meet, they discuss their affairs, their challenges, and everything that is involved. They have an opportunity just to be themselves. That is on the child and youth development. And for the fashion, I do uniforms. I do Pathfinder and Majority. That is God's service. I do Pathfinder uniforms. I do adventurers uniforms. And yes, it is part of my journey. Currently, I'm serving as the AUA cafeteria manager at Adventist University of Africa. Cafeteria manager. It's a challenging job, seriously challenging. But I thank God because it has also made me to see things, the catering view in another perspective. Yes. So serving God does not mean like I will do it in church, but the service that you give to the people of God and they appreciate. Yes.
People must eat first. And that
first.
is a very effective of ministry, because some people, if you read that verse, some people the next day, they did not come for the word.
Came for the
But
food.
they
followed Jesus because
and they
of the
got
food
the
they
word.
ate yesterday.
And they got food is food. Food for thought, food for them. Food is food. Yes, Belle, how about you?
Yeah, for me, for me to give away, I have to have something in me. So for me to use my business to minister, I think I've cultivated my relationship with God in a way that when I'm serving people, it is from the joy the Lord has given me, you know. And I have engaged myself in ministries like Sahani Mtani, where we have gone to feed street children.
I can remember the Sahani Mtani.
Yes. I've also engaged myself in prison ministry. So I go and cook there with them, and also share the word of God with them. And I've also found myself in positions whereby I am speaking to campus students about, you know, business and managing your money. So I think, you know, to some of these events that you're called, of course you do it for free to some events, you know. So I think God has used me in that way to encourage one person, to inspire, because I've been to positions whereby a student came and told me, I want to be a caterer like you. Like, okay. Okay. If the word has reached to you, praise the Lord, may he guide you. Yes.
Now, you know, when people are listening to here and they're like, hey, these are good cooks. You never had a bad day in office?
Yo.
Tell us. So, you know, I want our audience to be watching and they're like, huh. So everyone has bad days in office, you know. Like in corporate world, when you can just have that client who annoys you to the core. I'm sure you've had some bad days. You've cooked, people have eaten, the wedding is over, the bride and the groom, your money is not in your account.
Oh my.
Yes. Have you had bad days in office? And how has that made your insight for business better so far? Let's start with you, Belle. Mom laughed heartily. There's a story there. I want to finish with that.
Well, I have, for the very bad, I think I have two. One is that the client was my friend. And so we discussed everything. And, you know, we were it remained one day we start the job. And this friend of mine told me, you know what, just buy the things, I will refund you. Who is Val? I bought the things worth around 19,000. Let me tell you, it got to the day they were not picking my calls. So now you have double losses. The money you spent, and now you have food here, and you don't know what to do about it. So it, you know, for that experience, it really brought a strain in my friendship, because why would you do that? You know. So it also taught me a lesson that before you do any job, whether it's a friend, whether it's church, whether it's family, one, let there be a deposit. And also one thing I've also learned to do is that have a contract. Have a contract whereby there are terms and conditions. If you do not go according to what is needed, you know, there are fines that has to play along. And then the other one, well, the Lord is good. I've had bad days whereby, yes, I believe I'm a good cook. But on that day, to be very honest, Mom, I did a poor job. I really did a poor job. I won't lie. Well, not many people noticed. Only one person noticed. So for them, they loved the food. But for me, I was like, I knew this is not, I can do better, you know. I thank God most of them didn't notice, but I knew that I could do better. And then this client who loves food, you know, when you have a client who loves food and knows about food, is different. So she came and she told me, by the way, this and this was really not nice. And, you know, it's not easy to take criticism.
Yeah, never
it is not,
for anyone.
It's not easy, you know. But I remember I took it wholeheartedly.
Because you knew.
Because I knew, you know, and I apologized. And I thank God that this same client has given me other jobs because she knew that I could do better. So I have had bad days. Mistakes happen in the kitchen, you know, but I believe that God carries you through and he will always provide clients even when you mess up.
Yeah, he'll always provide clients. And I'll also ask you, we'll just meet behind the tent so you tell me who drafted your contract because I did not. Yes, Anne.
Bad days. Have you ever cooked for a wedding? Then when you reach the venue, one big pot of meat is like,
Oh my goodness.
and people are not able to eat it. And I looked at it, you know, the food had gone ahead and I was coming. Then I reached the venue and that food has gone bad. Just one pot of meat. And now I'm asking myself, yes, the other one is okay. Suppose it's not enough. What will the client say? You didn't buy enough. I gave you my money and you didn't buy enough. And I just, you know, those are the days when you sneak into the toilet and you ask God, why have you done this? Why have you done this? Why have you done this? Then, do you know that God is such a good God. Do you know what happened? He tells me like, one of the pots of the meat should be spared for the evening. So just try and use one. And I told God, what am I going to do? Then this is an opportunity that I sent for meat and let them start doing it as I come. So I asked her, should I return it to them? Yes, 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 so that it's not interfered with, you know, like God just covering you. But that was the day I thought hell was, you know, things are falling haywire.
You decided to cover your shame.
God covered my shame. But that, your heart is pumping loud, and because you don't know what is going to happen next. Food is such a sensitive thing.
It is.
I don't know if I may add about how God does miracles. You know, miracles. I remember there was a lawyer Sabbath and Honorable Justice Maraga was supposed to be there. And one of my staff members forgot that the beans were at the kitchen. So a little bit got burnt. And I remember I was so pissed. I was so angry. But even if you're angry, what will you do? And I remember that, yes, I remember that moment. I just took my mother, we knelt down and we asked God, take charge. Because from here, we do not know what to do. Of course, there are other skills, as a caterer, there are skills that you can do to refresh that beans and all that. And do you know, we went there with the meals and no one felt the taste. God took, I personally believe God took care of it. And because we even had good remarks, actually the beans were sweet. And like, it is God.
Little did they know. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing.
Another one.
Yes, please.
Bad days at the AUA. You know, like, I was used to all come students. They come, they eat your food, they say, Mom, thank you, and they go away. Came another clique. Another clique that they're just difficult to deal with. You give them this and they ask, is there another special one? You give them this and they ask, could there be?
Special table.
Yes, you give them this. So you find like, that week I was like, no, something is not right somewhere. What do I do? Headache. Because you know what you're used to? Those who tell you, thank you, Mom. And you're just used to appreciating and you love that appreciation. Then another clique who don't appreciate anything.
They want special
Whether you do what, they don't just appreciate. And that also gives you like, no, it's not. So those are bad days, bad moments, but still, cooking is the way to go.
You know, they say a bad day in office doesn't equate a bad life. You're not a bad cook because one time your beans got burned, or because one time someone didn't like your food. I can see our time is already up, and the producer is already giving me bombastic side eyes. So just to wrap it up, I'll give you 30 seconds each. Just, your camera is here, your camera is here. There's someone out there watching you, and like you said, the student told you they really want to go into this. What word of advice would you give them? Be it something they want to pursue professionally or as a passion? Yes, in 1 minute, and then Mom, you will close it for us.
Yes. First of all, pray about it. God will guide you, God will lead you, and God will provide. Secondly, whatever you find to do, do it heartily as unto the Lord. When you cook, cook as if you're cooking for Jesus Christ. When you're doing your tailoring work, do it as if you're tailoring a garment for Jesus. So do it with excellence and do it cheerfully. Because once you love what you do and you're cheerful about it, Lord,
He comes through.
He comes through.
Thank you so much, Vel. Yes,
I love that. Colossians 3:23. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your heart and with all your mind, as if you are doing it for God, not for man. For those who want to do catering as a course, I guarantee you, you will succeed, because as people will be crying that there are no jobs, you will start the Bremer's Kitchen.
Yeah, you make
She's an economist. You are a fashion designer, but cooking. So do it. You will never go wrong. Nobody will go without eating mandazis. They will eat mandazis. They'll want food even at the Hope Channel. You will bring. So you will never say there are no jobs in catering. There are jobs.
Thank you so much. Like they say, food is a universal language understood by everyone, just like music. Both two. The feeder and the feedee. So thank you so much for joining us on set today. This was an amazing episode. I truly enjoyed this conversation, and I hope we can have more engagements about every other thing that you do, you know, because there's so much to share. There's so much wisdom here. And for you, our viewer, thank you so much for joining us and for staying with us up to the end of this conversation. Now, we hope to see you in our subsequent conversations. Of course, you can find them on their various platforms. And Bremer's Kitchen, she's even wearing a branded hoodie. You can check her out. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you next time. Be sure to check us out on all our social media platforms. That is Hope Media Network ECD. And on your televisions, you can find us on Hope Channel. That is all from us in studio. Goodbye.